Kodash, 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 Adonai, Elohim, Sabayah, meaning holy, 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 Lord of hosts. Yahweh, sacred name of the Tetragrammaton, but those 4 syllables are expression of divine masculine and divine feminine. As above, so below, as within, so without, as above, so below. The macro prosophis above, the micro prosophis below, because we are the microorganisms in the host of the Elohim. We are created in the image, and ye are all gods and children of the Most High. I'm not going to go into the whole breakdown of my whole introduction because I got a lot of ground to cover today. So you've seen the last 2 videos. I did the parallels between the biblical creation story and the Anunnaki creation story. Alright, well, I had more to go into that. A while back ago, I did a video called The 7 Thunders, and I showed how it correlated with the, the book of Revelation, the 7 seals, 7 vials of indignation, judgment, 7 years of tribulation, great tribulation, the things to expect in that time frame, because it's a cycle of birth and rebirth, it's like a reset, to the planet. So in the process, you got to be out with the old, in with the new, so it's like a great cleansing of the earth, it means basically Mother Nature, because the mother, the mother is, if you ever read the Kabbalah, the mother, the left-hand pillar of the brain, signifies a woman, a woman's wrath, of a storm of emotions. It's how Mother Nature goes, but it's also a nurturing mother too, to the people that are respectful and, honor their mother and the earth, Same way you do the Father, same thing you do spiritually as you would do, in your natural nature of your daily norm of life. But this is where the judgment is triggered, through the elements. That's why when you see plague in the Bible, it's always coming in the elements. You'll see it in storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, volcanoes. That normally happens when a seismic, activity, or say the sun is ramping up. Like we got CMEs, sunspots, because of a lot of solar flares, and when the sun erupts, it sends plasma. That plasma, it always has an effect on every living organism on Earth. Like I did a video a long time ago at the Sacred Book of Wisdom, and talking about how the sun, when the sun rays hit, it has an effect on the human nervous system, plants, every living organism, and around the time that you're having coronal mass ejections, mass solar flares, especially an X flare, the highest flare, it's going to cause discombobulation on the planet. It might even cause power outages. Just like it sends electrical charges, has effect on electrical devices. And look, we have electrons within our body, so we are connected to the earth as well as the sun. Everything is, was, and then will be. So when the sun heats up like that, it causes the poles to shift. When the poles shift, the roles shift. It means it's an energy exchange. It's a reset. It's like 2 worlds colliding. The veil is being lifted from one, so the illusion is up. It's like everything that's in the dark comes to the light. That's kind of what the age of Aquarius means. They say the age of Aquarius is the age of information, but biblically speaking, it'll say in the last days or the end days, knowledge will be increased. So I'm going to show y'all parallels, how the biblical story, the Holy Tablet stories, but how these parallels when it comes to this tribulation period, the judgment, this star. The Bible will call this star wormwood. You see right now in the atmosphere, we had 2 solar eclipses 7 years apart, 2017, 2024. 7 years, which caused an X over this Pacific landmass called America, or the left symbol of the Hebrew alphabet, And then right after that, we have interstellar objects coming into. We had the supposedly extraterrestrials in Vegas. Don't forget the extraterrestrial events in Miami Mall, and these interdimensional beings, what they call them, coming out. But stuff secretly gets shut down. Then all of a sudden, in New Jersey, remember they were seeing all these crafts. Everybody keep forgetting these stories because they come out for a hot second and then they be gone. But I'm looking at it in the timeline of events. Now, I see a pattern here. So it might be a story here near to you and y'all forget about it, but I'm looking at everything from this timeline to that timeline because something already triggered me that this timeline is the right timeline for certain events, the parallels, clips being omens of dooms, always something big that happens on the earth when a solar eclipse, but to get two eclipses 7 years apart, and then an X formation over one Pacific landmass, Then the cities that it went through, from Salem to Nineveh, it get real biblical. And then from places, you start realizing all the places, names that they got in the Middle East, they got them same places named over here in America. Like, a lot of people don't even know that. They said Nat Turner was hung, crucified, or whatever the case may be, in a place called New Jerusalem in Virginia. I don't know if this place exists, but from what I've heard over the years, because I've watched this stuff, and now there's new accounts coming out saying that they ate him. I won't put it past motherfuckers, but it talks about cannibalism in the Bible. But let's get into the story of the blue kachina and the red kachina. This is very deep. This gets into a lot of detail and covers a lot of ground. The blue kachina and the red kachina. Remember, 3i-atlas is in the atmosphere. Two eclipses 7 years apart. What timeline are we in? There's something really happening here. And watch, it's about to get into it. Now let's get to it. The story of the blue kachina and the red kachina. The return of the blue star kachina, who is also known as Nam-ga-sohu, will be the alarm clock that tells us of the new day and the new way of life. A new world is coming. This is where the change will begin. They will start as fires that burn within us, and we will burn up with desires and conflicts. And if we do not remember the original teachings and return to the peaceful way of life. So it's talking about, how we living, how we treating each other, and, how things is going down here. Wars, rumors of wars, nation tries against nation, famines, pestilence, just like Matthew 24 said. And that's just one account of things you see as it ramps up to the time. Now back to this. It says, not far behind the blue kachina will come the purifier, the red kachina, who will bring the day of purification. Sounds like the day of judgment, don't it? Or the day of reckoning. It's many different names. On this day, the earth, her creatures, and all life as we know it will change forever. There will be messengers that will precede this coming of the purifier. They will leave messages to those on earth who remember the old ways. The messages will be found written in the living stone, through the sacred grains and even the waters. Crop circles have been found in ice. From the purifier will issue forth a great red light. All things will change in their manner of being. Every living thing will be offered the opportunity to change from the largest to the smallest thing. Those who return to the ways given to us in the original teachings and live a natural way of life will not be touched by the coming of the purifier. They will survive and build the new world only in the ancient teachings will the ability to understand the messages be found. It is important to understand that these messages will be found upon every living thing, even within our bodies, even within a drop of blood. All life forms will receive the messages from the twins. Those that fly, the plants, even the rabbit. The appearance of the twins begins a period of 7 years, which will be our final opportunity to change our ways. Everything we experience is all a matter of choice. Many will appear to have lost their souls in these final days. So intense will the nature of the changes be that those who are weak in spiritual awareness will go insane. For we are nothing without spirit. They will disappear, for they are just hollow vessels for anything to use. Life will be so bad in cities that many will choose to leave this plane. Some in whole groups. Only those who return to the values of the old ways will be able to find peace of mind. For in the earth we shall find relief from the madness that will be all around us. It will be a very hard time for women with children, for they will be shunned, and many of the children in these times will be unnatural. Some beings from the stars, some from the past worlds, some will even be created by man in an unnatural manner and will be soulless. Many of the people in this time will be empty in spirit. They will have sampaku, no life force in their eyes. Yeah, we get into the nitty gritty now. As we get closer to the time of the arrival of the purifier, there will be those who walk as ghosts through the cities, through the canyons. They will have constructed in their man-made mountains. Remember, it talks about that in the Bible. It says they will basically run to the cliffs of the rocks, and they will cry to the Most High, tell these rocks to fall on us, hide us from them that coming from up there, end our suffering here. It's going to talk about the people that's living in the rocks. So it's telling you people that's living in bunkers. Right? We're going to get to it. Those that walk through these places will be very heavy in their walk. It will appear almost painful as they take each step, for they will be disconnected from their spirit and the earth. After the arrival of the twins, they will begin to vanish before your eyes like so much smoke. Others will have great deformities. Talked about this in the Seven Thunders from the Holy Tablets. It says, both in the mind and upon their bodies. There will be those who would walk in the body that are not from this reality. Don't it sound like the people that they say, the shapeshifters or the draconians or these people that's in high and wicked places, the principalities, rules of the darkness, but they blend in and they hide right in front of our faces. But all of a sudden now people starting to glitch out, the veil is being lifted, but it's about to get deep. Watch this. It says, there will be those who would walk in the body that are not from this reality. Oh, this is a real thing, but this is prophesied so long ago. For many gateways that once protected us will be open. So it's basically saying the portals is open. The veil is being lifted. This thing's coming in and out right now. Nobody's safe in this time. But guess what? It'll be a great revealing because everything's going to be exposed. Things are going to start to come out. You see Congress even having these meetings rampantly now? I wonder why. This timeline. Remember this timeline will be open. Look, this is all over the place. People talking about this stuff, or they think it's going to happen, but it's crazy. This is already prophesied that it was. It says, will be open. There will be much confusion between sexes and children and their elders. What does it tell you in the Bible? It tells you that it'll be great division. It'll be mother and daughter will not be getting along. Father and son, they'll have no regards for the young or the old. They will be disrespectful, rude. Nobody following the law. You got some people that's coming back to the fold. This is what it's telling you in this whole thing. Remember yourself. You got to be right in that day, because you won't be touched. That's how you gonna know who's activated. Remember, I told you, coronal mass ejection, X flares, X chromosome, DNA. Remember, it talks about 1,000-year millennial reign. It talks about the end of an old earth and the new coming earth. So you got to pay attention to these things. It says life will get very perverted, and there will be little social order in these times. Many will ask for the mountains to fall upon them just to end their misery. Same thing as saying in the Bible. Whoa, this is deep. Still others will appear as if untouched by what is occurring. The ones who remember the original teachings and have reconnected their hearts and spirit, those who remember who their mother and father is, that is the Pahana, who have left to live in the mountains and the forest. When the purifier comes, we will see him first as a small red star, which will come very close, and it sits in our heavens watching us. It's a little star, little dot. It's going to be doop, 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 doop. Remember, Umu came into the atmosphere, was that 2019? Then we got 3i-atlas here. All of a sudden, we just had 2 moons here. Y'all keep forgetting things that's been going on in this all in this timeline. I'm telling you, the wars and rumors of wars and food shortages and tariffs, because stuff's getting stuck in ports. Stuff ain't import, export like it normally flows. But look at this. And look, we know about Nibiru. Now they say that's another planet that comes around on 3,600-year cycles. In this prophecy, remember, I told y'all in the other thing, the Anunnakis, they was in every culture, but they were just under different surnames. You know what I'm saying? So the stories will all link back, and now similarities to the Bible, to the holy tablets, to the Anunnaki story. It's all linking back to the same thing now. It says, first, and then remember, Book of Revelation, when it says the Messiah will return, he said he is coming back with his garment dipped in blood. Garment dipped in blood. So everybody think this is such a peaceful event, but it's a cleansing. It talks about wicked people getting swept off the land. He said, I'm coming in the clouds. I'm coming in the clouds. I'm coming in the ship. See, if you say New Jerusalem is something that's built in the sky, that's floating in the sky, and it's going to come down here on earth. A crystal city ship. Crystal Gold City coming out the sky. Now, we seen something like that on TV today. What do you think that is? Think about that now. It don't take too much to put 2 and 2 together. Now, it says it first as a small red star which will come very close and sits in our heavens watching us like a satellite kind of. Remember the sacred teachers. You got to remember the sacred teachers. For some reason, different knowledge is coming back to some of us. Some of us are tapping into things that we were told we weren't allowed to. We couldn't touch this stuff. We didn't know what we were talking about, but the truth is stranger than fiction, because the stuff that we are gravitated to, that pulls us to it, that we know there's something in there, like we can read that. This is how it's going to be in this time. The messages, when they come through, the people that are spiritually dead asleep, they're not going to be able to decipher them. You're going to become the kings and the queens, because you're going to be the only one that can read the message, the only one that's going to be able to prosper in this time where everybody's going to be so congested. And you know why? Because you got that mark on your forehead. You know why that mark is on your forehead? Because it's pineal. Pineal is active now. Third eye atlas is through here. Third eye pineal is active now. The crystals, that Christ consciousness, that return is somebody's back, coming in the clouds like a whirlwind. A whirlwind. It's spinning in circles. It's spinning in circles, coming through the clouds. It might be even cloaked in the clouds. Something in the sky. It's colorful too, red and blue. It says the purifier will show us many miraculous signs in our heaven, In this way, we will know the Creator is not a dream. Even those who do not feel their connection to spirit will see the face of Creator across the sky. You will see the face of the Creator across the sky. Sound familiar, don't it? Things unseen will be felt very strong. Y'all been posting this stuff for weeks now. I told y'all, like, now y'all think it's a game? Like, something is happening on this planet. The stuff that's going on in the sky, the atmosphere, this is not just a coincidence. Like, I'm literally seeing shadow people everywhere. Then I started thinking about to the mall event. Then I started thinking about, the crash they said it was in New Jersey. I remember off the coast of Florida. See, y'all keep forgetting these little stories, just little stories here and there. The water was red. Remember, there's so many events. Y'all gotta keep following these stories, because they ding, 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 ding. They'll paint a bigger picture. Each little event paints a bigger picture in a Pacific timeline. And between 2 7-year eclipse cycles, and then that was just time you better get right, because this is the beginning of something. And now all of these other events that all of a sudden right after the 7-year period, going to 2025, now this sudden thing comes flying into the atmosphere. We get 2 moons recently. Come on, what y'all think? This is a joke? All in the same year at that. Come on, man. Pay attention. Many things will begin to occur that will not make sense, for reality will be shifting back in and out of dream state. There will be many doorways to lower worlds that will open at this time. Remember, y'all ever heard stories about Shambhala or Gartha? You ever heard about Antarctica, inner earth beings? It means that, remember it was saying earlier, it said that portals is open, stairways, gateways, nothing is guarded no more. The veil is lifted. Now, you ever hear about apocalypse? Apocalypse is not a catastrophic day like you say. See, this end time works. It don't happen in one day. It happens periodically over a time span of events happening here, there, a little, then they ramp up, and then you will literally start to see things shifting, and then it basically sets the stage, but you got to keep up with it. And then once the bigger things start happening, it kind of catch people off guard like a thief in the night, because then you see it happen, but the whole time he said, I was seeing signs and wonders, be signs and wonders in the sky. Well, who's paying attention? But he said I got special forces on that. There's 144,000 and they'll be activated. X-Man, X-Gene, X-Flare, chromosome, won't be touched, veil on the head, seal on the head. Oh, pay attention here. I'm preaching, I'm cooking. Y'all better like, share, and subscribe, and share this video, because I know this is going to resonate with your spirit. Whoever watched this video through, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. This is not a joke. And if everywhere else is saying the same thing, come on now. Just wormwood? Pay attention. I'm a beast at connecting dots and patterns. It says many things will begin to occur that will not make sense, for reality will be shifting back in and out of dream state. There will be many doorways to lower worlds that will open at this time. Things long forgotten will come back to remind us of our past creations. So this saying we've been here before, or we keep coming back, or this is really the last cycle. 1,000 years. Gold, Crystal City, Cellular Rejuvenation, Kryptonite, Superman's Chamber, X-Flare, X-Gene, X-Men, I'm out. Ooh. Pay attention. Past creations, all living things will want to be present for this day. When time ends, now pay attention. When time ends and we enter the forever cycle of the fifth world. Y'all ever seen that show, the movie The Fifth Element? You know what the fifth element was? It was ether. And you see her brain span was, they needed, this is really going to super God mode. You become the extraterrestrial now. Because guess what? You're going through multiple realities at once. Your body is in a whole rejuvenation period. It can heal itself. It can do so many different things, Somebody took a serious effort trying to trick you. You got people walking around in meat suits that ain't even real humans. It tells you all of this stuff. That's why I like this one. This story, they get very detailed. But it say the same thing that the Bible says. The Bible just give you a little flash here and there. They don't really go into deep. You know, man, we ain't got time to be telling y'all all that. But, you know, somebody knew what was going on, and they took a little here and there and made other little books, but this is deeper, and it makes more sense. It says, we will receive many warnings allowing us to change our ways from below the earth as well as above. Then one morning in a moment we will awaken to the red dawn. The sky will be the color of blood. Many things will then begin to happen that right now we are not sure of their exact natures. He's telling you some beings coming here too. For much reality will not be as it is now. Now watch this. It says there will be many strange beasts. Now look at the 10 plagues of Abraham. Remember I did the story on it. If y'all watched it, remember one of the 10 plagues of Abraham said wild beasts will be their grave. Now look what this says. There will be many strange beasts. It says upon the earth in those days, some from the past, some we have never seen before. The nature of mankind will appear strange. And in these times when we walk in between worlds, so it's basically we're walking in between worlds because it's a veil, you know, portals is open. There's so much stuff happening right now. And we will, but some people gonna be getting tormented down here. I guess it's really is gonna be hell on earth. But other people are saying you're gonna be affected. I wonder why. Think about that. But I always knew this how it was gonna play out. It says the nature of mankind will appear strange in these times when we walk in between worlds, and we will house many spirits within our bodies. So this means that all the forces, they coming inside of you, and you're gonna be able to juggle them. You know, basically, imagine if you got a whole arsenal of spirits working through you. That's not good for nobody. That's very powerful. You know, if you command spirits that's not even in your body, you know, and get them deep in already, and then ask them for help or send your prayers up to the Most High. You know, because everybody got their specific aim. Most people have been disconnected, but those that are coming back and remembering the old ways, the original way, get what it's saying. It worded that correctly, because everybody's not going to step back into the old ways. What they were demonized and programmed basically to turn your power off, because when they knew this day was going to come, and they didn't want you to be one of them, you know. Let's discourage as many as possible, you know. I know many is called, few is chosen, but let's discourage many as possible from ever tapping back into their true power. Let's make them feel guilty about their true natural essence and really real life abilities, being a whole organic being on this planet and using their whole brain, not just 10% of it, using their whole arsenal of power and really tapping into it. That we can't live in peace and harmony. It's gonna be torment for us down here. That's what they're gonna be saying. That's what they're gonna be saying. Because they can't just off you no more. System disengage, disable, flatline. Because nobody, it's divine intervention now. Because they're like, all right, enough is enough. Because imagine if these people stayed in power another 1,000 years, even another couple hundred years. This shit is fucked at this point. Ain't nobody can save this or rewrite this or try to make it right at this point. It just shows you that some things will never change, and it's just obvious at this point. So let the elements, spirit, mother nature, they gotta do what they gotta do, because this shit gotta stop. Enough is enough. That's why it's being put on full display for the world to see. Everybody's been warned. It says no living thing will go untouched here or in the heavens. The way through this time is to be found in our hearts and reuniting with our spiritual self, getting simple and returning to living with and upon the earth in harmony with her creatures, remembering that we are the caretakers, the fire keepers of the spirit. Our relatives from the stars are coming home to see how well we had fared on our journey. Our relatives, they coming back paying us a visit. We didn't intervene with y'all, the evolution and development, but we coming back now because something got changed. You know, time to go to the fifth element, baby. And go to the ether. The ether. The non-ethers. Ashe. Kudas. Adonai Elohim Sabayah. Remember, do you remember who you are? Do you remember? You remember me fighting side by side with you at the Crusades? We done died 1,000 deaths. But guess what? We the last ones left. I'm out. Just remember. Follow that spirit. Your spirit telling you stuff right now. Listen to it. It's telling you stuff. Listen. Be silent. Listen. Feel around. Just look at it. From the corner of your eyes, you'll see stuff moving around you right now. Look at the pattern. You know, take the GMO off. Take the veil is lifted. Just let go of this whole old thing. Just feel it. Go inside of you. It's your power. It's happening. It's really happening. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm out.